All right. What is going on? It's me again. Bang. 16. I'm recording this after school. There are some people in the building. Announcements are still going on. So we might get interrupted. But hopefully we had that good discussion. And then we talked about, right at the end, Sawyer is coming over. I mean, she just got in trouble with her parents, her dad, and now she's actually bringing the guy into the house. I mean, that's a recipe for disaster. The dad comes in and catches him. I mean, I don't know. Like, he's never hit her before, but I mean, it's just blind rage. Maybe. Let's see. So he's coming over because she thinks she might have found a school that matches everything. Remember, like, older students there. They're going to be in school. So not Charlie's school. This might be the one. All right, let's do it. They're actually in her apartment right now, right? I think, yeah. And there's all that trash there. And the last thing she was like, hey, my dad's, he's sick. Please don't judge the house. It's only him. He nods. It's okay, he says. I knew. You mentioned it in the hospital. We weave through the apartment. Sawyer pretending like it's the most normal thing in the world to have piles of Christmas lights and bulbs in the dining room, but nowhere to put a tree. There we go. And
We have buses 22, 6, and 32. Again, that's buses 22, 6, and 32.
So those are the announcements I don't mind. But it's like when we're trying to teach and it's like interrupted. So I can't be mad. I can't be mad at that. All right. Plus, Miss Nichols is nice. So I won't be mad right now. In the living room, I grab the remote. Watch, I say. About a minute in, the camera pans, and there are buildings with ivy and a whole row of those trees along a street. I turn on the sound for the first time and hit play. And as the segment runs, say stop if you need me to, I say, top of the next column. Can you even see it? Or is it the vision? No, he says. I can see it. Sawyer stands there, coat still on, and watches. The reporter is talking about recent vandalism, graffiti painted around the campus. Students are on spring break this week. She's talking about having some time to clean up before school is in session again. And then she says something about the beautiful campus's botanical gardens and redbud trees that are just about to burst into bloom. That's in the vision as well. Buds. The camera pans and Sawyer leans forward, staring, as if that'll make the camera go where he wants it to. Stop, he says. I press pause. That's it, he says. He stares at it, taking it all in. This is it. It's one of those buildings for sure. Look at the ivy. These are the right kinds of trees. The snow's almost gone. He looks at me. And the road. You're a genius. How did you know? By your description and because of the spring break headline. Is there graffiti on the building in your vision? No. They must have cleaned it off by the time this happens. He rubs his eyes. I can't believe it. You figured it out. I never thought we'd get it. He turns to me and pulls me into a hug. Oh, can you imagine if the dad comes in right then? Which feels super awkward here in my house, but I'm not complaining. Still, the risk is large, and I pull away. Let's get you out of here. We'll figure out what to do in the morning. He nods, and we're snaking back down the steps when the door at the bottom rattles and opens. Dun, dun, dun. Dad. 28. Thankfully, it's Trey. Okay, not Dad. He startles when he sees Sawyer in our house, but he recovers quickly and holds a hand up in warning. He turns to look behind him, and I can hear him talking to someone outside.
Okay, at this time, we need buses 11 and
Wow.
24, please. That's 11 and 24.
I mean, it is like super late after school ended. Wow. 2:24. And there's still buses being called. I would have waited to record this. There's nobody on our team left, but still some buses, I guess. Where was I? Top of the next column, somewhere around there. I can hear him talking to someone outside. Sawyer and I stand so still, I don't even think we're breathing. Okay, good night, Tony, Trey calls. He comes inside like nothing's up, then presses his back against the door. I'm going to murder you both, he says. Sawyer and I nod. After a minute, Trey opens the door crack and looks out. Okay, get the hell out of here, he says to Sawyer. Without a word, Sawyer makes a break for it. Trey scoots me up the stairs. What the? He starts, and he's so stunned he can't even finish. I'll show you, I say. Come on. He follows me, excuse me, and I show him everything. When he's done watching it, he looks at me. It's not a high school. Not a high school. You figured it out by accidentally watching the news? I nod. I do watch the news on occasion, I say in my defense, but I didn't have much time back when I had a job. He laughs. Oh, Jules, your job misses you. Did Dad yell at you? Top of the next column. Of course, he also suggested that since I'm 18, I might want to consider moving out and feeding my own mouth. He did? He really said that? Yes. My stomach twists. Are you going to? No, not this time, but if he doesn't stop, I might. This scares the hell out of me. But where would you go? He looks at me. Aw, don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. He punches me in the arm. Do you think I'd leave you and Rowan here? Come on. Not until I go to college in the fall, and even then, I might have to commute. He pinches and rubs his fingers together. Money. Though now, I'm starting to rethink things again. I need to decide soon. He goes into his room, and all I can do is think, don't leave me here with them. Later, Rowan comes in, and I can hear Mom moving around the kitchen. Oh my gosh, still buses? Come on.
And we have bus 39
Holy
here.
crap.
That's bus 39.
All right. I'm not quite sure what will happen next, but Trey and Ro and I are all planning on going to the coffee shop, top of the next column, to meet Sawyer, like this morning. The three of us sit around my bedroom, talking quietly. And it occurs to me that the reason we're so close is that the weirdness gene maybe skipped a generation. And we all get along because it's the only way to survive. Rowan tells us about her trip, gives us all of her flight information, Charlie's address, his phone number, and his parents' numbers too. And even though I feel kind of odd about letting her go and not telling Mom, I feel very good about where she is going to be by now that I've seen Charlie and his mom in their non-hoardy, non-tense house. And besides, I couldn't possibly stop her from going. Now, just a real quick, Jules only saw a glimpse, and I know what people put out on Instagram and TikTok, and you probably don't use Facebook, but like those little glimpses into life, they only put out the good things, right? So in the 5 minutes that Jules talked to Charlie and his mom, I mean, they're not going to have a fight. She only saw one little glimpse of the room there. So, but some people do like the drama, right? You probably have those friends. Hopefully you're not one of them. With like, oh, every bad thing that happens, I need to put it out there. Oh, that's annoying too. If you're one of those people, don't do that. Nobody cares, right? If you're having a bad day. I have a couple people, Facebook, because I'm old. I have a couple people on Facebook that they're always complaining, oh, awful. I just keep them on there because, it makes me feel better about myself. But don't be that person. Yeah, it's hard. Social media is weird, right? You don't want to put out all the bad stuff. Most people don't. We hear, did I switch it? Yeah. We hear Dad lumbering around, and I make Trey stay in our room, even though he's fallen asleep. I don't want to face Dad, but he doesn't come in. We hear their bedroom door close like it's the door to a crypt. Probably know what crypt is, right? Just in case. Excuse me. It's usually a dark place. I think of dead bodies being kept in crypts, but you saw it up there. And we know he's down for the count. Whether it's just for the night or for a few days, no one ever knows. But we think this latest problem will put him in the sack until Rowan leaves. And then Mom knocks. She looks at us all. Rowan on her bed, Trey on the foot of mine, and me on the floor in between. She gets this melancholy look on her face. Oh no, another big word there. Melancholy? What does that mean? Think of sad. Yeah, sad. I think she's going to say something or yell at me or tell me what my new punishment is, but all she does is stand there looking at us. Like she didn't realize we were all so grown up. She massages her weary eyes and then she says, "So glad you have each other." "Aw, mommy," Rowan says and gets up off her bed to hug her. Look at that little kiss up. You're about to break your mom's heart here. Make her sick. I don't know if your parents say that. I was worried sick. That's what my parents used to say. But I think this line here that I will highlight in blue, we could talk about that for a second if you want. We could pause. All right. Normally I would say what we talked about just because some people are home, but not anymore, right? We don't have to. COVID's, I think the second the war in Ukraine started, like COVID ended, right? That's how the news is. Like they got to, I'll use a big word, perseverate on something. They got to just keep talking all about it, and then they pick the next thing. So I think COVID's done, right? We defeated it. Those of us who made it. I know a lot of people did not. A lot of people died, unfortunately. But those of us who are just like young enough and I won't say this person's name because I think, and you don't know him anyways, but I won't say too much about it. Someone at a school I know, not this school, down south. I'll just say that, okay? She is like my age, and she had COVID last week. Tested positive. She's a teacher. Tested positive, and then yesterday, well, she works with my wife. I'll just say that. My wife had to like she passed out. Like not my wife, the teacher that she teaches with completely passed out, couldn't breathe. They had to use the defibrillator on her. So, I'm kind of joking about the whole COVID thing, but it is still affecting some people. So it's just not making the news as much. But yeah, literally, like I think she's younger than me, might be in her late 30s, early 40s. And she had COVID last week, hasn't been breathing like perfectly. And she went down at school yesterday. So that is some scary stuff. So I should not make fun of COVID, but I'm making more fun of the news. Like they will just pick something and not talk about anything else. All right. Anyways, old man rant over. Let's get on to the next page here. Trey says, "You have us too, Mom." And I just watch her grow old before my eyes, and I smile at her, and I hope she knows I love her. If she has a punishment for me, she doesn't issue it. Friday morning rolls around quickly. It's the last day of school before spring break, and I half expect Dad to be standing outside our room waiting to catch us going to school early, but he's not there. We three leave by 6 and sit at the same table we sat at yesterday, but Sawyer doesn't come. After a while, I call him, top of the next column over here, wondering if he slept through his alarm, but he doesn't answer. We hang out, unable to do anything without computers or smartphones. And finally, we just go to school. Not sure what's going on. Sawyer is not by my locker. He's not in school. There's no sign of him. And I'm worried. By lunch, I've tried calling him 3 times, and he doesn't answer. More.
Bus 15 is here.
Oh my
Bus number
gosh.
15.
2:30. It is Wednesday, though, I guess, early release. So, all right. So, good place for us to stop. We'll figure out what the heck is going on with Sawyer tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe the grandfather got him. But that's unlike him to call his girlfriend, like, hey, I'm not going to be there. It's messed up. So either he is in trouble or he's a little bit of a jerk to make her worry like that. All right. We can decide right now. I don't know. All right. And then now we'll talk about Armenia.